Welcome back, YouTubers, to another WWE vlog by me, Daniel Parkin. I am still ill, but I'm going to try my best to get through this because a lot happened this week. So I'm just going to go straight into it, really. The first thing we had was The Undertaker having his opening promo, basically adding more hype to this WrestleMania match between him and Triple H. He talks about there could only be one winner and that his streak won't be broken, all that kind of stuff. They then show footage of the last two WrestleManias where he's faced Shawn Michaels. It was a really good compilation, I thought, showing the endings and stuff. And then the big announcement comes when he said that when Undertaker said it's going to be a no holds barred match, which will no doubt add a bit more to this match, make it a bit more interesting. So it was good to hear that. Good to hear from Undertaker again. It was a standard Undertaker promo, and it was very good. It got the message across very well. Overall, good segment in my opinion. We then cut to backstage, and we have Nexus attacking Randy Orton backstage, and they basically take him out. And then CM Punk does the GCS on him. They then drag him to the ring, and at this point I'm thinking, looks like Otunga's not going to be wrestling tonight, because he never fucking does, because he sucks. And of course it's Orton versus Otunga, and the referee starts the match, because Orton wants him to, even though he's down injured. And the match itself doesn't last very long. Otunga beats on Randy Orton, but Randy Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere. And then Mason Ryan beats on Orton after the match, so another Nexus attack, and then Orton RKO's Mason Ryan. This Orton guy is like Superman. He can do exactly what John Cena could never do in a couple of months. This basically Orton winning meant that Otunga won't be by CM Punk's side at WrestleMania. We all know it's going to be one-on-one now. No one really cares about the next match with Mason Ryan, although it will probably be a good match. But the most important thing at the end comes when Randy Orton then punts Otunga in the head. That's another Nexus member going back to FCW now. They're really killing Nexus off. They're burying Nexus at the moment. They were once a really strong force on Raw, and I really wanted them to continue to be. But at the moment, nope, they're just being. It's just now all focused on CM Punk, and the way that Nexus have been set up now, who can really blame them? They haven't really done anything, and CM Punk is so much better than Nexus should be now. Next we had an interesting match. We had we had the announcement. We had the announcement that Miz won't be on Raw. He announced via Twitter that he wouldn't be on Raw. I did a video on Miz being an afterthought. I'll put it here, and that'll explain a little bit, or one of these two. Then that'll explain a little bit more as to why he probably wasn't there, because he thought it was an afterthought. It was a bit of a shame that WWE champ wouldn't be there though, because he's supposed to be the main attraction of Raw. But we'll leave that for another time. Next was, like I said, was an interesting match. We had returning Christian versus he comes out for a match. Alberto Del Rio comes out with Brodus Clay, the runner-up in the NXT Season 4, and Alberto basically says that Christian can only face Alberto Del Rio if he beats Brodus Clay. Now, this was good. It was good to see Brodus Clay get his debut. It's interesting also that he gets his debut before Johnny Curtis, who actually won. Just saying. Brodus Clay here showed he could be a really dominant wrestler, but he could also job as well. Obviously, Christian wins with the Tornado DDT, and Del Rio continues his push with attacking Christian after the match and giving him a cross-arm breaker thing. So, the one thing I had about this is, it's SmackDown people. What are they doing on Raw? Get them on SmackDown. Let them fill the gap in SmackDown that they have now, in which they show Raw footage. Do it. We then had a Sin Cara promo, which is good to see new people coming in. They're actually building them up. And we also had a Sunny promo into a Hall of Fame promo, which was also good to see. Next we had a match which God no one cares about: Eve versus Nikki Bella for the Divas title. I'm not even going to go into this match. Basically, the most interesting part of this was Micheal Cole. Yes, Micheal Cole getting onto the announcer table and saying, "Get this over with. I'm the main event. I got a big announcement. I'm Micheal Cole, and I'm a douchebag." But the thing is, I kind of agreed with him, because this match sucked. It just sucked. And no one cared about the match. No one cared about the Divas. No one cared about the fact that Bella's a heel. And no one cares about the outcome. Turned out Eve won, by the way. By some... I don't know how, but she won somehow. I was in the toilet, really. I just didn't really want to watch it. So then we come to Micheal Cole's announcement, which for me is the most interesting part of the night. Basically, he bigs up Stone Cold. He makes us think it's Stone Cold, but then he announces that it's going to be JBL. which was, I didn't expect that. I marked out a little bit there, I guess, because it was good to see JBL back. But then he cut a heel promo, and then it reminded me exactly why I never really liked him in the first place. And then all of a sudden, Stone Cold interrupts. I think most of us were expecting it at this point, but it was another mark-out moment with Stone Cold. I don't do mark-outs very often, but I had 2 in a couple of minutes here. Stone Cold interrupts and immediately stunners JBL. Good to see. And then and then Micheal Cole had a contract basically, which the guy being a special referee should sign. Now, JBL never signed this because he got interrupted by Stone Cold and a stunner by him. So Stone Cold picks this contract up and basically goes, if you think I should sign this contract, give it a hell yeah! And it is just an awesome moment. And he signs the contract and he's a special referee for the Micheal Cole Jerry Lawler match at WrestleMania. It was just so awesome to see Micheal Cole crying and feeling sick. And another good part comes when Stone Cold Steve Austin pours beer on Micheal Cole. And it was just so good to see. It was just amazing. It was really good to see Stone Cold back doing his usual, heel stuff, which he gets liked for, of course, because he is a legend in WWE. And what more can I say about Stone Cold, really? He just made that segment his own, and it was really, really good to see. And it was probably the best part of Raw, and the bit that I marked out for the most, as well as the fact that it made Micheal Cole look like a right tool, which he is, to be honest. So we'll give him that. So yeah, after that amazing segment, which ended with Micheal Cole having a hissy fit with Jack Swagger on the ramp on the way out. Jerry Lawler comes out to commentate with a big smile on his face, and I felt really happy for him. But even though we know it's storyline, you still kind of feel happy for Jerry Lawler in this situation. So yeah, Stone Cold will be the special referee for the Micheal Cole Jerry Lawler match. That's a great addition. It was really good how they worked that segment. You think it's going to be JBL and it's going to be Stone Cold. It was just really well done how they did that. And like I said, it was probably the best part of Raw for me. Next we had Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. This is a really weird match in the way that it went on for a couple of minutes, and then Sheamus gets knocked to the outside, gets injured, and then gets counted out. And then, what's worse, we think he's continually jobbing and stuff, we get that. He then challenges Daniel Bryan next week for his US title, and says if he loses, he'll quit. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here. I can only see 2 outcomes. Either Sheamus wins and stays on Raw, or he loses and goes to SmackDown. There'll be more evidence of this later, in what I'll talk about later. But yeah, that's really strange. And again, it's got me a bit excited for next week in a way. But not as much as some other stuff got me excited for next week. We'll go on to that in a minute. So yeah, it was too short of a match, and I don't see why they're doing this whole fired thing. It just doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't go. But anyway, it wasn't a very good match in itself, so we'll just leave that. Next we had CM Punk versus R-Truth. And the thing about this, R-Truth got an entrance, but CM Punk doesn't. CM Punk is one of the best wrestlers in WWE. Why is he not getting an entrance? I don't know, but CM Punk basically dominates the match, and he should do, really. He's really pissed off about what's happened. He should be dominating this kind of match, and it should be a continuance as to what's happened with Randy Orton, basically disbanding Nexus himself. And he wins the match with an Anaconda Vice, which is a really good addition, I think, seeing as apparently R-Truth has got a really bad shoulder at the moment, so, it was a good little addition to see. And then, of course, Nexus have their post-match attack on R-Truth. When I say Nexus, it was basically CM Punk and Mason Ryan. So they could make a tag team now. Nexus have gone down from like 5 members to 2, and it's just it's so bad to see at the moment. But maybe they'll do something with that. I don't know. We then had a Shawn Michaels interview, from pre-recorded interview on the Titantron, talking about the the big WrestleMania match between Triple H and Undertaker. And again, I wasn't too interested. I mean, he said some really good things about Triple H and why he is the man to beat Undertaker, but it's just not convincing me. Undertaker is gonna win this, and I just have no idea why they're trying to promote Triple H to do it, because we all know Undertaker's gonna win. It's so obvious, and if he doesn't win, I really need to destroy myself, or maybe I'll put my career on that line in a match like Sheamus has done. Next we get Vicky Guerrero coming out, and she comes out. I mean, what's she doing on Raw? The last thing I want on Raw at the moment is Vicky Guerrero. When she was on SmackDown, I was like, yeah, SmackDown have her, yeah, she's an annoying little bitch. But she actually gives us some good news. She says that Dolph Ziggler is going to be the newest member of Raw, and I actually really like this because I enjoy Dolph Ziggler as a wrestler. And even better, he was going to have a match against John Morrison. You know, you've got two wrestlers there who are probably going to be the top two contenders for the, you know, now non-existent Money in the Bank WrestleMania match. Going up against him, two real good movers in the ring going up against him, and it was quite, you know, it's quite a good match, to be honest. You know, it's probably one of the best matches of the night. But Ziggler uses his heel thing, you know, he uses a distraction to hit the zigzag on Morrison and win. He also concentrates on his injury. I think John Morrison sells his injuries quite well. But during the match, Vicky said something about Snooki keeping off her man, and I'm thinking, is this a big giveaway as to what she's going to do next week? Could you have given away even more? You know, I don't know what's going to happen, but it sounds like it's going to be something to do with that. But I mean, overall, I'm really glad to see Dolph Ziggler back. And then the Raw GM says, well, Jerry Lawler does the Raw GM thing, and it's so funny what he does. You just have to watch Raw to get that. And basically, the Raw GM says, you know, Dolph Ziggler has a job, but Vicky Guerrero doesn't. And if Vicky Guerrero wants a job, she'll have to fight. And this is my next mark out moment. Trish Stratus on Raw next week for a job. I am so looking forward to next week's Raw now. The road to WrestleMania is just getting so much better, and this Raw just really did it for me. You know, she's going to fight Trish Stratus in a match next week. It's going to be great to see Trish Stratus wrestling again. And then Vicky Guerrero gets led up by security, which was really funny again. I hate that woman. And then we come to the main event. And it was a really good main event, I'll give it that. Cena comes out and does his little promo on The Rock, basically addresses Rock in hip-hop. It's not really that good of a promo. He basically disses Rock for never showing up, and it's true, he never actually does show up. And then towards the end, we finally see The Miz. The Miz, our WWE champion, finally comes out and makes his mark and attacks Cena from behind with the belt. He hits him twice. You know, I'm so glad this happened because I kind of wanted to see him on Raw, and I'm fed up of him being a bit of an afterthought. I mean, I don't like Miz, but I really wanted him to get involved in this Rock-Cena feud, you know, to promote his and Cena's feud more. So I'm really glad this has happened, and I'm glad he's finally getting some recognition in this feud. Again, I made the video about Miz being an afterthought. You know, I'll put it in the description box below so you can look at it. But he's really I'm glad the WWE are finally making him make his mark on the Rock Cena feud, and Cena, you know, and it will promote their own feud as well, which is good. We need to see these feuds being developed into WrestleMania because it's going to be one of the main uppercard matches. So it's good that they're finally doing this. And then at the end, he does a people's elbow. The Miz does a people's elbow on John Cena. Now, how much, you know, you can't diss Rock much more than doing a people's elbow. You know, again, I thought this was a really good ending to Raw. You know, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Miz coming in and, you know, making his mark. And of course, you've still got this whole Cena Rock thing going. You know, you want to see how it goes on with The Miz. The Miz is going to get involved now. The Miz, you know, went on the mic and said about, you know, he could beat The Rock and stuff. So, you know, there's more going on there. So, you know, this rivalry has gone from John Cena and The Rock and The Miz being an afterthought, and now Miz is getting really involved in it. Now, if he's actually going to get involved in it, you know, we don't know what's going to happen yet. But let's hope he does, because I think this could be developed to be quite a good rivalry. And, you know, and I'm pleased. I'm pleased that this ending actually happened. I want to do a little bit of a thing here about Snooki, this Jersey Shore bitch hosting next week's Raw. You know, why are they doing this? Haven't they learned from TNA? I watched TNA Impact last week, and I don't watch TNA Impact that much. But having that Jersey Shore girl on there just sucked. You know, why are WWE doing this? You know, I don't get it. What is their thing? What are they trying to do here? But, you know, that is just one little thing on an overall good Raw. I really like Raw this week. A lot of good things happen. There are a lot of mark-out moments, which is good on the road to WrestleMania. And again, it's going to develop this WrestleMania. You know, it's developing this WrestleMania more. And also, there's a lot more matches, which was good to see. I know they were quite short, but it was still good to see some valid matches. And of course, the Stone Cold thing was really good. The Trish Stratus thing was really good. Seeing Micheal Cole crying and feeling ill was brilliant. Seeing him getting beer poured on his head was awesome. And of course, the ending with Miz was really good as well. So, that is my opinion of Raw. Give me your opinions of Raw. Put them in the comment section below. You know, what are your opinions of the things that have happened? What did you like? What did you dislike? Please tell me. Comment section below, like I said. You can catch me on Twitter. My Twitter is Daniel_Parkin, and my Tumblr is Daniel Parkin. Also, there's a subscribe button up there. If you like my video, subscribe. Like my video if you like what I'm saying. And that is all I'm going to say now, because there was a lot, and I'm running out of breath, and I really need to blow my nose because I'm really ill at the moment. So that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.